Hey there.
Hey.
How you doing today?
Good.
Got
When he
The one
keeps
with
get
the
in.
keys.
I told him, I was like, you could have used our smart door lock because you would already been in the house.
No, not about that.
Nice purse. Wow.
Yeah, he was also asking about the installation on the garage doors. I told him we were getting a pretty good deal with Bo. But
Oh, yeah, he's a guy I went to, I've known since I was 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you what he's charging you?
Yeah,
or-
he's doing $700.
It's pretty good, but I
Yeah.
might could be able to get it cheaper. I don't know, but.
No,
you know.
I've already paid for the
Oh,
stuff for
all right,
him to come
cool.
do it.
he'll be. So
Oh,
he'll
it's
have-
$700 for the equipment and the install?
All of it.
Oh, okay, that's cool. It's usually about 800 actually, so that's good. Oh.
I don't know where all of
Okay.
it. Take care of time.
Yeah.
All right.
He's been freaking out. Okay, buddy.
Is it a doggy?
Back up. Get mama.
You scared of dogs, ain't you? Do you want us?
You good?
Okay.
It's okay.
Hey, boy.
Okay.
He's okay. He's friendly. Look at him. Okay, y'all got the panel up. We're pretty good.
Come on, come on, come on. Back up.
Ty.
I'm okay. I love dogs.
Look, come here. Look. Ty.
My dog would. Like, you come in the front door, my dog's going to pee on the floor if you touch her for about
Come here.
30 minutes.
Ty, come here.
Yeah, he does that sometimes.
All right, boy. Come on.
No friends. Yes, yes. No friends.
Ty, come here.
Did you say pad thai?
Ty.
Oh,
His name is
pad thai
Tyrion
sounds good right now.
from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
But we call him Ty, Typhus, Ty, Typhus.
Well, this is
All the
better.
nicknames. Sit.
Yeah, this is a beautiful house. I love it. So let me, if I can,
You want to set up?
plug it up. I'm gonna plug this up and fire it up so y'all can see.
Cool.
I usually don't get to use this. I'm pretty excited. The owner of the company, he bought this from me because I'm, his top sales rep in the country, basically.
Come here.
Cool.
And I wouldn't carry this to the door because someone would probably think it's got like a gun in it or something.
Yeah, it looks pretty serious.
There you go. Let me see here. How do you do this?
I'm pretty gentle, he's pretty aggressive on that thing. I think he probably thought he was forgotten about.
So I'm gonna figure my life out here in a second. It's actually, I think it's the second time I brought it. I didn't use it this way last time. Bro, you know how to do this? I don't know how to do this. Oh, this is Kamar. I don't know if I introduced him.
Oh,
How you
hey,
doing?
nice to meet
My
you.
pleasure.
Thanks.
Sorry, it's been a little chaotic.
I can imagine.
All right, there we go. Got that up and running. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? Yeah.
It's pretty slick.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more understandable. And like I said, it'll work. It's just that it lasts for 48 hours and the battery's gonna drain down. Same thing in the house. Okay. So give it a second, it's gonna power up. This thing's battery operated. This is the thermostat. It's been running in here for weeks. But it's also plugged into power, so give this thing a
System
second.
disarmed. Ready to arm.
So this is, as I was telling your husband, this is the Go Control panel made by 2GIG Technologies. So all of the equipment here is made by 2GIG Technologies. This is a door window contact.
Front door.
I've already programmed this to say front door, but we would program it to where it says front door, rear door, garage door. Do y'all have a basement?
Yes.
You do? Basement door. But the thing about it is I just recognized, and I forgot that you guys actually already have a panel up.
Uh-huh.
So what this would be, now, do you know if the builder, they worked with Phoenix to put that up, did
Yep.
they do the windows as well?
That's my understanding.
Did they do windows?
My understanding
Let's-
is it's pre-wired.
Let's look in that, there should be a white box in a closet. Have you noticed? It probably is in the basement though.
No, it's in the basement. That's
Let's-
the white box.
We'll look at it in a second. I'll just,
Okay, it's in the basement.
yeah,
I'm glad you got a breaker panel.
I'll find out in a second, but sometimes they'll just do the doors, but sometimes they'll do the windows. Do y'all know you paid for it? You may not have known this.
I'm pretty sure it's the windows too, but we'll look at it and see.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So if it is all the windows, then the best direction to go is to do what's called a takeover, because you already got the windows done. And what would happen is if you wanted to go do all the windows, you're going to have to end up paying for some stuff. I'm trying to keep it to where that we're getting to zero down,
Right.
besides for like an activation fee or something like that. So this panel, the way it works is it's not active right now, because if it was, will you hand me the iPad, please? If it was active, then this would be showing me the Weather Channel updates. And this is an actual live and run-in panel here. So you see the Weather Channel updates there on the iPad. It's moving like this. So it's actually not active. So the reason I'm saying this is because in the back, when we install this, there's a Verizon GSM cell chip that goes in the back of this. And then also a 2 gig extended range antenna goes into the side. It's a paddle antenna. So you're going to get like really, really great coverage. And this panel is going to have some features on it that are far more advanced than other panels. Quick response. If you were to need to get out to the fire, paramedic, or police department, you hit the plus button, then hold it down 2 seconds.
Police. System disarmed. Ready to arm.
And then also, let me clear
Tie.
that out. It's really quite simple to arm. You're just going to follow green buttons, and then pick your stay or away option. How big is the dog? How much does it weigh?
80.
80. Okay. Have y'all noticed any motions in here at all? Motion detectors?
Yes.
You have? Okay. Your windows might be done then, okay? But with the dog being out, the motions are probably going to be setting off, so you're probably going to end up bypassing that for good. Or unless you crate him. I don't think y'all crate him. I couldn't crate my dog either. It's kind of mean. But so what you may want to consider, since the dog is here, is that you may want to do some glass break detection, because if someone breaks the glass, it'll set the alarm off. But again, follow the green. Since you don't have motion detectors in either the stay or the way mode, the glass break is going to be active. You pick which one. If we're staying, it's going to arm.
Arming stay.
Gives you 60 seconds to get out.
System
Does that
disarmed.
mean like
Ready to
stay
arm.
means you're going to bed, so you're arming it to go to bed?
Yeah, so like if someone was stay mode means like if you're in the house, it could be like during the daytime. As soon as someone breaches one of the doors, it's going to set the alarm off.
Okay.
Because that's the point. Because if someone kicks the front door open and you're in the stay mode, you're in the house, like 60% of break-ins occur while the homeowner's at home. You need to like get that calling out
All right,
quick.
I got you. Just give us a second. He needs to go outside.
Okay.
Do you have a panel in the master bedroom?
We can. We have a secondary. It's actually looks the same as this. It's a smaller version. It's maybe about the size of this. I have it in the car. Smaller version, but this panel is responsible for the main function of the system, meaning the GSM cell chips in the back. It's not running over the Wi-Fi. It's not running over the home phone line. There's a cell chip in the back, Verizon. That's how it calls out. And then it has the two-way voice here. So if someone was to break in the house or you accidentally set the alarm off, we come over the panel and we ask for the verbal password.
So instead of having a second panel up in the bedroom, does your app on your phone, does it cover most of this?
Yeah, everything. The only thing that I would advise is that I haven't programmed my key fob into this yet because I just got this demo, is that the alarm.com app that you would use, that doesn't have a panic button. So
Okay.
this is panic button here. You hit this and hold it down 2 seconds. The panel that you would have upstairs would have panic buttons. So you have a basic wireless panel, and they also have a touchscreen panel, such as secondary. Both of those are secondary.
Okay.
But again, this is the one that's going to have the two-way voice on here, so you can speak through to us at the monitoring station.
Okay.
You want me to wait on her to come back? Yeah? It's okay. I'll just drink my Starbucks.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's cool, man.
He's been in the house for a while.
I totally get it. My dog. Y'all got, is this a full backyard?
Yeah, it's we haven't got a fence up yet, but it's kind of long and thin. There's a bigger area there and a bigger area there, and it's kind of thins out to the back here.
So you could probably get one of those invisible fences.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That would be cool, right? I would do that too, but I live on 10th Street in downtown Atlanta, across from Georgia Tech. So like,
Oh wow, yeah.
if I leave and something malfunctions with that, my dog's gonna be in 10th Street and she's gonna die, and
Yeah.
it's like my baby for real. And
That's
that's
probably gonna go with our standard fence, but
and that's another thing I'll mention to you guys when she comes back in is the smoke detection. I won't go too far into that, but you guys, and I'll explain this again when she gets back in here. But you probably do have smoke detectors.
yeah, they're all synced together, supposedly.
Exactly. Yep. So what you would do, since that's happening, the only thing is that you don't have one. I don't know why they don't put one in here, like in the kitchen. This is like the main place that something would go down. So you may want to consider. Yeah, is it in the closet?
Nope.
Yeah, you may want to consider putting one, in in the kitchen area because the kitchen area is like where most fires happen, like in the oven.
Sure, there's one out here somewhere. Let's see.
There's one right back there.
Okay.
But you don't have to. What you could do, since they're all on the same loop, wired loop, is there's what's called a firefighter that we have. It's a device. It's an audio. It can hear audio. So you put it next to this, and it's mounted up next to one of the smoke detectors. So, because if one of them goes off, they're all beeping, to get people to leave the house. But if you're not here, the dog's in the house. I don't know about you, but my dog's like my family. Plus, it's just a lot of stuff you don't want to lose. Even though you got homeowners insurance, there's stuff that can't be replaced.
Right.
The house is going to burn down. The neighbors, they're going to catch it at some point, but at most cases, it's already gone too far. And y'all are kind of tucked back here in the back, so it's kind of hard for a fire truck to get back here very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But the sound device, it can hear it as soon as it starts beeping, and it's going to call out to the panel, and that calls out to the monitoring station. So it's one of those things where I wouldn't even consider not having, because
So it's an added, instead of a break-in system, it's also kind of a hazard system, so that.
burglar and
So
fire.
does it call the call center and then they call the fire department?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
Okay,
Yes, so you'll have the monitoring company is called Monty Smart Home.
okay.
And Monty, the thing about Monty is, and I'm going to show you all the credentials, is that we're 5 Diamond certified through the CSAA, and even companies like ADT, they're not. And they're the biggest monitoring company in the nation. But yeah, you wouldn't want it calling to the local dispatch station every time. And I'll explain to you guys why that you're going to want to have two-way voice, because AT&T Digital Life, they don't have this. So that's kind of
Okay.
explain it to you though. Everything come out all right, boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we miss our fence. Because you get to go in that backyard right now anyway.
So where
Oh,
was
it's a
I?
mud slide back there.
Yeah.
All right. So did you hear the two-way voice part that I'd mentioned? So if you have your system, maybe you decide to put some glass breaks up in here to give you the window coverage. So if someone breaks a glass, because most people are going to break the windows anyway. So if your windows aren't done, what we would do anyway is probably not do that, so we don't incur a big equipment fee. You could do this to be overly protective and just another layer of protection, but you put up a glass break in a certain area, here's a series of windows. And it's going to hear for 15 feet out for a 360-degree radius, and it's made by 2GIG Technologies. But the thing is that this is equipped with two-way voice. So if you were to drop a wine glass or accidentally set the alarm off in some way, or if someone breaks in, this has got a microphone and a speaker, and it's connected up over cellular, but a live operator from our monitoring station comes over the panel and they ask for the verbal password on that account. So you avoid incurring a false alarm fee, which is $150. It's 2 free, third one's $150 in this area, and in mostly all of Georgia as well. Two-way voice, if it's an actual burglar that's broke in, then every time the system, it's going to time out after a certain amount of time for energy efficiency. But after, the alarm goes off in any way, shape, or form, say for instance, if the glass break goes off, it's going to say glass break, whoo, 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 and then call out two-way voice like a cell phone call. And then the first thing the monitoring station is going to ask for is the verbal password that you pre-set up. And if it's not answered correctly, then obviously the police are going to be dispatched, but it's recording in the process at the monitoring station, so that if they're name dropping, hey, Jojo, go grab the TV, it's gonna hopefully be something incriminating to help the police track them back down. So two-way voice over cellular, and you have smash and grab protection on this one. So if you yank this off the wall, it's going to call out regardless to the monitoring station. There's things in here like this screw up here, which is how you open it to program it. If that screw is removed, it's going to send a text to alarm.com. It's going to say it on the panel mailbox. The monitoring station is going to get notified. If the glass breaks undone, it's tamper-proof. If this is taken apart at all, it's tamper-proof. So that's the panel. 48-hour battery backup. There's a lithium-ion battery in the back, so it's going to last for up to 48 hours. I was telling him there's certain things that we can do, and I have one example of the thermostat, because this is big for energy efficiency and cutting down on the electric bills. This one knows when you're arming the system and disarming the system, because this is connected up over what's called Z-Wave. And Z-Wave, it's not going to be activated right now because there's not a cell chip in the back of the panel.
We wouldn't need something like that. My mom needs us. So there's somebody here almost all the time.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
So having something connected to thermostat is not necessarily,
Okay. So we'll take that one. I'm going to put this one here.
yeah.
This is the Skybell that I was mentioning to him. I think I got this open actually. A Skybell doorbell camera. I'll just show you here on this iPad what that looks like. You've probably heard of the Ring.com camera.
So what is it?
Ring.com camera. Never. So when someone walks up, there's the front doorbell camera.
Okay.
So this one's not the Ring.com. It's called the Skybell doorbell camera. If someone walks up to the front door, within 8 feet of the front door, there's going to be a motion detector here on the Skybell. And you can turn that off if you don't want it going off. They'd have to actually press the button in the other option. Then a 1080p HD camera is going to pop up here with full color night vision, and you can speak through to them from anywhere in the world. And if you have our smart door lock, it's made by Kwikset. That's going to also be able to be unlocked straight from that same portal. And the reason why I would recommend doing a Kwikset door lock is, getting the additional equipment is because I was telling him about the bump lock keys. I'd show you a news video, but it takes about 4 minutes, so just straight to the point. The bump lock keys you can buy from Home Depot for like $2 or $3. They're filed down, and you can put it in 90% of door locks, the deadbolts, and then you hit it with a hammer and just slightly twist it, it'll pop right open. That's important because obviously if you can get in the front door, then you can get in the whole house. So if you don't do the door lock, you just at least need to have a security system active. So if that's separated, then it's going to set the alarm off. So we can do the Skybell doorbell camera. You're going to at least be able to arm and disarm the system from anywhere in the world. So everything that you already have up pre-existing would be armed, and you can disarm it. But that panel is going to change to this panel right here. We give you this panel for free. Other than that, we have the garage door lifter. You have the LiftMaster out here, but this one, you can also have the ability to unlock and lock it from anywhere in the world. And you can also create scenes, different scenes in the house. So when you leave within a certain radius, you have, multiple users on the same account. So if one of your phones leave and the other one's here, it's not gonna, it's not gonna mess up the programming. But if you leave within a certain radius, it's gonna automatically arm the system and start shutting everything down that you have connected.
Okay.
Other than that, if we can, maybe just check one of the windows. I wanna see if the windows are contacted.
Okay.
Should be able to
I
probably,
don't think it would be any of those because you couldn't get to those without a wire.
wanna check
It's
this
either
one out?
gonna be these
Okay.
and the ones in the basement.
Let me open this one here. Okay, yeah, so you're not contacted because there would be a white recess point and that panel probably, does it beep when you open the doors? That panel right now?
I
I
don't,
don't know.
You may
It's
or-
not-
I haven't noticed.
Yeah, so there's not a contact in this one, and that usually means that they're all not
So
contacted.
even if it's not, working, it would still be.
It's sometimes if you haven't turned off the beeper sound, then you should be able to open one of the front door. Try the garage door and see if it beeps. It should maybe beep or something. It could be turned off.
See, it's saying system not ready for help press, so I don't know if it's
So
what level it has to be set up to actually trigger something like that.
so there is a recess point right here. This is a recess point.
Oh, on the door?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the recess point, and then it has to have one here, and it does.
So is this it?
Yeah, that's contact. That's wiring going through here, and there's another one here.
Okay.
But just because that's done doesn't mean it's finished out, meaning that could be just a plastic decoy tip, and there's a wire wrapped around to finish out with a magnetic recess point connector. Same thing here. So if we can, this has got to be tightened up right here. The door's coming off.
Let me see the front, see if the front window's got it.
Yeah, so you see the little round thing there, and there's another round one here in the same place. That creates the separation. But like I said, we have to check the actual box downstairs to give us a heads up on if everything is actually wired. So is this how you get into the basement?
Yeah. Oh, that's all these lights are on.
So y'all moved from Alpharetta?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's where I'm going tonight. My girlfriend's parents live over there. All right. Are y'all gonna finish this out at some point?
Yes.
Okay. couple years or this year? Or,
Hopefully in the next 12 months, we'll see.
right.
Yes, it depends on what happens. We've had a lot of unexpected things happen.
I understand. This is the metal box. This is really good because they have front door, garage door, back door, basement door, I think it is, motion. So that's all you actually have.
Okay.
And you can tell, like, here's the wiring going in, so there's no windows done. And it's really good here because you do have you have the circuit chip here. This battery would be thrown away, even though it's a new house. We replace it with a new battery, just in case, we don't know. But all that would really have to be done here is, considering you have this done, we would put inside of this what's called a takeover module super switch, made by 2 gig. So you don't have to worry about that. It just means that this is going to be undone and then converted over to 2 gig. We're just going to take over everything that you already have. That way we don't have to go in and, you know,
Only the monitoring part though, right?
yeah, we're going to take
'Cause
over.
this also has like our Wi-Fi thing that's connected.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't want to mess that up.
No. This is all home security right here. So this is like the front door, back door, garage door, basement door, and the motion. So, and the panels go into this. So all we're going to do is we're going to unplug these and program them in through it's a takeover module super switch. And that's going to allow us to convert over to the new equipment that's inside of the house.
So how do you do windows if they're not done beforehand?
We can, what we'd probably do to avoid any type of, you know, mess ups on drilling and stuff like that, we don't want to, you know, unless you really want us to, we would never do it. But the best way to do it is to put the thin wireless contacts that were up there on the right on the windows. So all this would be taken over, all your doors and your motions. But if we're adding additional equipment like a glass break in a certain area, so like down here in the basement, for example, let me do this. Oh my God. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna leave that like that. So down here in the basement, there probably isn't a motion. I don't see one.
So the motion one we have is up by the front door, isn't it?
Yep.
Probably, yeah, coming into the foyer. And so there's no windows done down here, I already know, but in this area, so if you're going to finish this out, then what you're going to want to do is either put a glass break here, because there's probably going to be a wall there, right? And then a wall here.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to put a glass break in this room, and this room, because the wall's going to muffle the sound to where that you can't hear the glass breaking.
Even with the openings?
Yeah, if it's open, you would be okay, but realistically, you may want to look at, you know, doing a glass break. You know, if you're not going to finish it out immediately, put a glass break like right here, because all the glass break is going to be mounted up with 3 Phillips head screw for the mounting plate, screwed in with lithium-ion batteries. They last 3 to 5 years. But it here's for 15 feet out, and that's kinda further away.
Yeah.
It probably is going to
I
work.
mean, in the future, this would be closed off, and that would need one. But these, I can't imagine we would actually put doors or close this space.
We might close this off.
Okay, yeah. So
Possibly, but that wouldn't have-
this would just be like an open, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So in this situation, if that's going to happen, then a glass break would be effective here. You could just put it like right here. I do it here sometimes.
So it kind of covers.
So it's going to hit this. So you could get away with one glass break here, and you could avoid doing the windows because, like I said, most people are going to open the windows. They're going to open the windows. If they're open, if they're locked, they're going to break it. And that contact on the window, if they break it, it's not going to set off any contact.
Okay, so glass break down here.
Glass break.
The door's done.
The door's done.
And then we would do a glass break upstairs.
I would, the thing is this window here, once you block it off, once you cover this up, that's going to be,
Well, we put one in there after that, but that's gonna be a year from now.
okay, cool.
Yeah, not right
Now,
away.
if you're wanting to put an additional glass break in there, just call me, because if it's not something within like a lifetime warranty and it's like an add-on, they're going to charge you I think it's like a $30 or $50 trip charge fee, which is not a big deal.
Yeah.
But you can just call me because my girlfriend's parents live around the corner. Plus, I'm not going to charge you the $150, which is how much they cost for the glass breaks. I can just give you one for like $20, $30 or something like that.
Okay.
So, and now I'll just install it.
You said this door is done? I don't see the,
It says on the thing it's done.
is it a different kind?
There's sometimes they're kind of, here it is right here.
Oh, they've mounted it
Right
higher.
there.
This is it.
Okay.
And then there's a contact right here.
Couple of those
Okay.
pictures already.
So you can see the wire like right here. It's coming through here, and then it's up through this, and then it's
So
going
you
up over.
think they probably have wired it up then?
Oh yeah, it's wired.
Okay.
This is the contact.
'Cause that was the question for the one up by the garage, but
That's
Cool.
wired. All your doors are wired, so we're simply just going to put up a wireless glass break.
okay.
And then if you're going to, I would maybe advise you until you finish this out, put a glass break there and maybe put a motion over here, because the motion is going to see for 50 feet. The dog's not going to really come down here when you're not here, right? And the motions are only active in the away mode. So that one up there is going to never be used because the dog's living up there. But this motion would be active in the away mode, so that if someone was to break the glass over here and this doesn't hear it, then they come in, the motion's going to catch them. Because the glass break's active in the stay in the away mode, but I can't honestly say it's going to work from that far away because it's 15 feet out. So it's up to you. But me personally, I would probably put either maybe at least a contact on the window, but
Okay.
if they break that window, then there's no kind of motion, and you might be in a situation.
Okay.
Hopefully the dog will bite their face off.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looks vicious.
he's super friendly, but he doesn't
Know what's going on?
He can be
Yeah.
pretty, yeah. He
And then-
scares all the delivery people pretty bad.
So this motion's going to be deactivated in this area. That motion's not going to be active, so you may want to consider doing some type of glass break in here to where that is going to kind of hit all this. So maybe I like to do things symmetrically. Aesthetically, it would look somewhere, like right here, if that's not weird to you. That way, it's going to hit that and those windows as well.
What's it look like? How big is it?
I have them in the car, but they're actually about this big around,
Okay.
and they're curved off round, and they look sexy on the ceiling.
Okay.
No, it's not going to be like the smoke. You see how it's squared off? It's a little bigger and bulkier.
Yeah, we've got a Wi-Fi antenna that's kind of like that.
2 gig is like the Tesla of home security equipment. Yeah, it looks good. And then is this accessible out here?
From the deck, it would be.
Okay.
But I
Upstairs.
don't know. Maybe something we need to be worried about. I guess we could put a glass break in here.
I would probably, if it's
I think
something.
my biggest concern is glass break. Does it really know glass? Because my mom is loud.
Okay, so-
she'll drop a vacuum cleaner.
Good.
And she'll.
Good. Actually, when Finney does the install, he's usually the one that does my installs. He'll do this with the glass breaks to set it off. So like that would even set it off. But if it was accidentally set off for some reason outside of an actual window being broke, or what's going to happen is we're going to come over the panel with a live operator. Because it's going to set off. The panel's going to say glass break. Woo, woo, woo. Stop the false alarm from the police coming out, because you got to say the verbal password. So she's just going to know the verbal password.
So is the glass break only when you're away and not when you're home?
Stay and away. When you arm it, if it's armed in the stay mode, then the glass break becomes active.
Because I don't, I would possibly have it armed even if we're not in bed. So a friend of mine.
Of course, I would
friend
too.
of mine was, in her house. Like, 'cause I don't really want to put blinds on the back.
Yeah, definitely.
This is private and stuff, but she was like that. She didn't have blinds on her house, and the guy was casing the house and came in when she was home with her daughter.
Wow.
Yep.
And so she was in the room playing, and he tripped the alarm. So that's why I'm asking, because, if her and Liam are just here alone, I probably would encourage her to set the alarm.
Yeah.
But when I tell you she's loud, doing the dishes and she's loud,
Mm.
right? So I'm kind of.
Let me show you a couple of videos real quick. And I'm not trying to do a scare tactic because you just said this. You got the idea. But I'm going to show you Nancy Grace. First off. Nancy.
So the guy actually came inside the house?
Home invasion.
Her husband left, and he left the
So
he
watch
left the
this.
alarm on,
Hopefully
and thankfully, and it went off. And he ran. And it started going off.
The shocking New Jersey home
That guy just went up in the
invasion
house
caught on nanny cam.
and just started beating this lady to
What
death.
you haven't seen, Dad's goodbye to his family. Moments later, the break-in.
What you need to know so it doesn't happen to you.
Straight up the stairs, run up the stairs, run as quick as you can.
Yesterday, we showed you that disturbing video of a mother being viciously beaten.
I mean, he
during the
threw her
home
down the
invasion in
stairs
New
and
Jersey.
kicked her, drop
Police
kicked her
are
down
now
the stairs.
hoping that the release of the video will lead to a break in the
Was it
case.
to try to kill her
It's a
so he couldn't
heartwarming
record or
domestic
what?
scene played out
I
in
don't know what he
homes
was
across
doing.
the country every
I
morning.
don't know.
Dad spending
Okay.
some precious
Anyway,
moments with
so
his family before leaving
that's-
for work.
Oops. That's few and far between, but still, like, what you're saying is, like, I would, like, 100%, when we get married, like, I want, not to be controlled, but I want Ashley to not answer the door when I'm there, because you don't know. Like, the other night, I mean, obviously we're not doing anything, but this girl incoming, she opened the door for me, and it was another guy I was training, you know, and we kind of, like, talked and engaged a little bit, and then ended up going straight in the house, and I had a few sales reps in there at that point. There was 4 of us. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't personally, if I'm not home, would not want my wife opening the door, period. Because you don't know. Because it could be the FedEx guy dressed clean cut, and then all of a sudden he's in there robbing the place or whatever they do.
Right.
So that's why the Sky Bell is really cool also, because